This is my E92 M3 which we pulled out of a salvage yard, and I bought it with the ultimate intention of turning it into the perfect fast road car. But first we had to fix it. So instead of doing that, we strapped this ESS supercharger onto it and then got it on the dyno at A-Reed Motorsport. And on that dyno it made 612 horsepower, but I still haven't even driven this car. Now the reason being for that is I'm a firm believer in that you need handling mods to support your power mods, which is exactly what we're going to start this video off with. So we need to modify the rest of this E92 M3 to suit the power that this engine's now got. Because the rest of the car is completely bog standard. You ready to Rocky?
Yeah, let's go.
Right, let's get her up.
So we can get the car up in the air and we can start transforming every aspect of how this car is going to drive, ready for it to hit the road. And we're going to start with the suspension. Now, because we're going to be doing a lot more than just changing out the standard suspension on this car, that means we're going to have to remove the brakes and the hubs as well. So with all the lower arms removed and the calipers off, that means we can take off the complete suspension with the hub as well. So all we've got left to do is remove the top mount bolts. And that's the front suspension out.
Front suspension removed, and not much of this is going to be going back on, to be honest, because we've got new springs. These are KW height adjustable ones. They are second hand, but I've gave them a clean up. These brakes ain't going back on, but we'll come back to that later. So what we need to do now is take the springs off here. We need to knock these collars off, pop on the new ones, and new springs on.
So with the spring compressors on and tightened down, we can crack off the top nut, remove the top mount, and then remove the spring. Now we're going to be keeping the standard shocks because I want to retain the EDC, the electronic dampening control. So that means that all we've got to do now is take the standard shock out of this old hub and then fit it into the new one.
So we're ready now to fit the new springs onto the shocks, but there's something else that we've got to do. Because we have got new hubs. There was nothing wrong with the old ones, but these ones are going to allow us to run a much cooler brake setup than what the car originally has. So we're going to swap to these. These are off a M2, I think, but the M2, 3 and 4 are all the same. So these are going to go on the car, then we can line up where we need the collars and then fit up the suspension.
So once we were happy with the position the collars were in on the car, we could then tap them down and fit up the new spring and the top mount as well. The cool thing with these springs is because you change that collar out, it means that you're height adjustable like you would be on a coilover setup, but you can retain the standard shock, meaning that the EDC or whatever electronics your suspension have got are going to work perfectly. So whilst I nipped out to grab some parts, Ethan started to crack on with the rear.
Alright then guys, Chris has left me, so I'm just tackling the rear suspension by myself. So yeah, all the bottom arms are off. I'm just going to undo the level sensor now so we can allow for the spring to come out and get the new coilovers in. Well, not coilover, but lowering springs. So yeah, all having fun.
And he got that corner absolutely smashed out, but when I got back I decided to crack on with the other corner and it didn't go quite so well.
How's it going, man?
Well, not so good. We've got 3 corners done and this is the last one, but Ethan reckons that these bolts here for the lower shock bolt are really prone to snapping, and this one feels like it's going to snap. Yeah, it's not feeling great. So I've doused it in everything I can. All it needs now is brute force.
And we took some weight off it with the jack as well.
Oh, we have, yeah, we have. Yeah, it just needs a bit of brute force until something happens now. It may
Something's got to give.
Something's got to give. It's probably going to be me. What we're going to do, Ethan, because there is a bit of a problem here, because the X3 currently has no door, no bonnet, no protection for any of the air intake system, no protection for any electricals. We're due a 95% chance of a thunderstorm tomorrow, so that means there's going to be a big fat storm. I've got a car cover I could put over it, but I don't think that's going to survive a thunderstorm, is it? So we need to be able to move this. It's not good.
I don't know.
There she goes. Feel good?
Yeah.
It had to happen.
We knew it was coming. We knew it was going to happen, and it did. It's a bad day in the office, everyone.
Now looking back, we probably should have just done this to begin with and took out the inner arm bolt rather than that one which sits on the bottom of the shock, because that means we wouldn't be in this predicament at all, but you live and you learn.
And look who's here. Hey mate.
How you going? You
Yeah,
alright?
all good, all good. Got some wheels for you.
Yeah, man.
So, I'm not going to tell everyone at home what we're doing yet,
Okay.
but they are knackered because all around the edge of every single wheel is mashed. You're going to have fun, I promise.
That is alright. It's when it's corroded like the R8 ones.
Oh,
where
okay.
That's when it's more of a problem.
So we've got some loan wheels to go on the M3 while we're waiting for the other ones to come back. And we've gone for something a little bit different to what you normally would. Ethan has seen what colour we're going for.
Pink.
Is it an inspired choice?
Yes.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I like it.
It's a bit different though.
different. Pink's different, isn't it?
You'll see what I've gone for by the end of the video, but I think you'll like it. So the front suspension is now on, and so is the rear. Now we have still got the snap bolt to deal with under there, but it'll be fine for now, just moving it in and out the garage like we need to. But it does mean I'm gonna have to order a replacement lower arm to fix that. I probably should have just done the inner bolt instead of the outer. It is what it is, whatever. We'll get it sorted, but now it's onto the brakes. And we're gonna be replacing them, but I don't want you to get too excited by the box. So what we have in this AP Racing box is not AP Racing discs, unfortunately. We've got new backing plates, some M2/3/4 discs, which are gonna be the perfect accompaniment for our new M2 hubs. Now these are second-hand, and I wouldn't normally advocate putting second-hand discs and pads on your car, but these are so hardly used. Well, you'll see when I'm putting them on that, honestly, they're pretty much brand new. It's not worth replacing them. I paid £1,500 for the discs, the pads, the calipers, and the hubs on the front as well, which I think is a pretty good price. And the bloke I bought them off said the car that these discs and pads had come off had done like 200 or 300 miles before he upgraded for the AP brakes. So not only are these going to look better because they're bigger and the calipers nicer looking, which we'll see shortly, they're also going to perform much better as well because they're a 4-piston caliper instead.
So the first thing we can do to fit up these new brakes is actually change this backing plate because we have a much nicer condition one to go on. Then it's just to clean up the hub and the mating surface and make sure those are properly greased so when we take the disc off next time, it's going to be much easier. Then it's on with those massive M2 front discs. And then we can just repeat the same process on the rear. Now you can get away with using the factory rear backing plate, it just needs trimming down ever so slightly so the new disc and caliper fits.
Okay, so the discs are on and now we need some calipers to go around them, and obviously I'm going to be fitting M4 calipers, but I've done something a bit different with them.
And that's because the factory blue colour won't quite cut it. So I got my mate Callum to paint them silver at first. Which looks alright, but it's not what I'm after. But that's okay, because this is just a base coat. Then we can start laying down some tint. And although this colour is pretty out there, it's not what I'm after. A couple more layers needed, I think.
3 coats in, what's your thoughts, Callum? Too big still. We're going to go for some more. Okay, let's do it.
And the reason why they look pink is because this is a candy red. It means because we had to paint them silver first, it takes multiple layers of colour to build up that really nice, deep, rich red. I bet you thought I'd lost my mind at first and they were going pink. Well, not quite, but take a look at the final product.
How nice does that look? Now, normally I'm not a red caliper sort of person, but I think red is the perfect accent. Well, the right red is with this paintwork, because it's that individual colour, it's ruby black, it's got a red sparkle in it, which I think will tie in really nicely with these calipers. And some of you are going to be thinking, oh my god, you've not put the logo on. Well, I'm going to, I've just not painted it in because, well, I'm not 100% sure what I want on these yet.
So we can now fit up these new front calipers using the original bolts and bolt holes in the factory hub. But what if you want to dodge buying a car which has been painted like my calipers and probably the rest of my car will be? Well, using Car Vertical, take for example this BMW M3 here. You can see it's got a green tick for mileage and finance, but an amber warning light instantly on damage. And take a look at the photos. Now you can see straight away this car has a heavy front end impact on the driver's side, and also when you look a bit closer has some rear quarter damage too. So that's going to be quite a sizable repair. But as you scroll down, you can see this car has not been outstanding as stolen at any point in the past, and the mileage all checks out due to there being no dips in the graph. But here's the bad news, you can see that this car has been marked as a write-off and is a category D. But to help you avoid buying a car which has a hidden past, Car Vertical are going to give you 20% off their normal price of the checks when you're using my discount code and the link in the description. But be fast, because that extra percentage is for a limited time only. But for now, how good do these calipers look? Spicy.
There is a whole lot more we need to do to turn this in what I described as my dream fast road car. Now, fast road to me means obviously the car's got to be fast, which we've dealt with. It's got to handle well and brake well, which we've dealt with. But it's got to be usable as a road car. So that means I want to pay some attention to the interior. Yes, it's alright in here, it's not bad at all. I think for the age of the car, it's over 10 years old now. It still looks pretty decent. The condition of the interior is decent. The trim spec and everything I think has aged really well. But there is a few things in here which we need to make better, I think. Because for me, I really like my cars to have Apple CarPlay, to have your maps on the screen right there and all your music super easily accessible. I think it's super important to make a car usable or more usable in the modern world. And luckily there's a great option for this car. I've picked up this from Dealz. This is a complete replacement screen for the E92 M3. They do a bunch of other ones too, so check on there if they do one for your car. But this is a complete replacement unit, so that means that we get a nice new screen and a little computer in there which makes all the Apple CarPlay stuff work. We've got to put in the new harness and maybe some new accessories to match. But that's not the only thing we're going to be doing to the interior, but let's get this in first.
So I can start by pulling out the original screen. And also all the trims that are going to get in the way of me removing the radio. And we can remove the main harness and then replace it with the adapter harness, which is going to be needed to run this new screen. And then run all of the wires I need before we bolt everything up. But if you do want to grab one of these for yourself, the link is going to be in the description. As I say, there's other makes and models which are available too, and there's going to be a discount code down there for you as well. But now we've got the new screen bolted in, that means now we can start refitting the radio and all of the other trims which go around it.
Boom, there we go. Apple CarPlay unit installed, looking fresh and lovely and all working a treat. It works with the iDrive controller. And for the wires, we've got the aux in which goes in here and also the USB which runs here. So nice, clean, tidy install. But we're not done with the interior just yet. There's one more thing I don't like about it, and that's the armchairs that they've used for seats. They're not really bucket seats, they're not very sporty in my mind. They're pretty comfy, but I don't really want comfy. I want something that's going to hold me tight when I'm going down the country lanes in it. So I've got something to replace these with, but first, let's get these ones out. So I'm going to be replacing these old sofas with some nice fresh BMW M4 seats, which means it keeps the functionality of getting in the back, not a problem, and keeps all of the electric and heated features and everything like that too. But the other extra thing we've got is a light up emblem. So we need to try and make that work. And is it going to be easy?
Yeah.
See, it's too easy for him. So while I clean up the interior, we've got Dips here again because you guys loved him so much in the last video. He's going to wire in these new seats for us and run us through how it's done. Which I presume, sound. Right, I'm going to clean, Dips is going to do that. We're both doing what we're best at. Let's go.
So I cracked on with cleaning up this mess which was hiding underneath the driver's seat, and it was not pretty, but it didn't clean up too bad to be fair. And Dips made a start on the wiring.
Right, so first thing we need to do is take off that module, take that plug off, and then we'll remove the plug from within itself. From there, swap that all over. so that's the module. Got that removed from the original seat. We need to get this swapped over onto the M4 seat and also the plug as well.
So while Dips from P1 Autokeys worked his magic sorting out the wiring on those seats so they can plug and play into the original loom, I made sure the rest of this interior is immaculate. So we cleaned down all of the carpets because this car's been smoked in before and it was not pretty one bit. And after giving the carpets a spray down and a scrub and giving them a wipe over, they were looking a lot better, but the leather needed some care. So using this Gion strong leather cleaning set, I went about cleaning the rear seats, the door cards, the armrest and the steering wheel. And you can see on this clean white cloth how much dirt it pulled off, so it's definitely worth doing. But let's see how Dips is getting on.
These two plugs are actually different shape to those plugs there. So what we need to do is get these plugs off here and repin them into that wiring. So for the seat light, the M light that's on the seats, we've put a nice plug on there as well.
You can tell Dips knows his stuff when it comes to auto electrics, and he's going to make this install better than factory. So while he finished off wiring for that M light in the seat, I finished out cleaning the ashtray in the car, which was full of nasty stuff. But if you do want to grab any of the cleaning stuff that you've seen me use, make sure to check out my car cleaning. The link and a discount code are in the description.
Can you tell everyone at home what you've done to be able to make these work?
So basically what we've done is this is the plug from the M3 seats. So what we've done is we've taken the plug off, depinned it off the original M3 seats, and then we've done a pin out onto the M4 seats. And also what we've done, this purple wire here is for the emblem, the light up emblem for that there on the seats. So what we've done is we've wired that into the car itself onto the footwell lights, so that will work as it should do as well. So all the functionalities should work on the car.
Cool, I can't wait to try them. And for the wiring on this side of the car for the emblems?
So what we've done is we've got plugs on it with original BMW tape on it as well, cloth tape, which I'm really proud of. We've wired that to the footwell light that sits just under there. So
and that goes through there, underneath the carpet, underneath this subwoofer cover here, and then up and under there. So it's literally invisible, and it's all unpluggable as well from both ends.
That's it. So you don't have to cut any wires if you're taking the seats out or anything.
That's a proper job.
So we like it.
So with all of the wiring and the cleaning done, these nice new M4 seats can go in, and you can tell already they're going to look wicked. I think I managed to pick up a bit of a bargain on these. They came out of a 30,000 mile car and I paid £950 for the pair.
There's quite a lot to try in there. Go on, I'll let you try it. So, so forwards, that works, nice.
Backwards.
Yeah.
Up.
Yeah.
Down. Backrest. Yeah, that works.
Lumbar. Getting squeezed.
Yeah.
Nice.
And
that does something, I'm not sure what.
Yeah, it's the back.
Are the memory seats going to work?
Yeah, so
what do you look at? Would you press, if you set a position, you go set, and then put you on one?
Yeah.
And then if I just press one again. Oh,
there we go.
God damn.
Sweet.
You're sick.
No worries. I don't know if you can see it.
Glowing. Like you.
Emblem works.
I couldn't be happier with them. They look perfect for the car. Absolutely perfect. So I've took inspiration for this whole colour scheme from another BMW, the M2 CS, in black with the red calipers. Even though mine are slightly different, I've gone for a different shade of red. I've got ruby black, but I think the wheels on these pop really well. So we've had the original wheels refurbished in the exact shade of gold that the M2 CS wheels are. The only difference is they've been done in complete gloss, so they're easier to maintain. And apparently whatever I ask for is never that easy. This is a 5-step process getting these to look like this.
Not an easy one either. This was 3 attempts at this because the actual colour is like orange. Yeah, it literally looks like syrup.
Okay.
So if you apply too much, it goes from looking this nice pale gold to looking like a toffee apple.
Right, okay. I think you nailed it. I think you nailed it.
Yeah,
Looked really nice. And I think that's going to work perfectly with those brakes.
No worries.
Link to the description. The Wheelman in Nottingham near IKEA.
That's one, yeah. Langley Mill.
Langley Mill. Sounds lovely. Let's get these wheels on. And I very nearly forgot there's one more thing to do. It is a nice easy one. We've got brand new floor mats to go in, which I know is something very small, but it makes all the difference. Well, I couldn't be much happier with how this E92 M3 is turning out. It really is turned into my dream version of what this car is. Sharing that dream balance in between that OEM feel and the upgraded nature of what I like to do with cars. But unfortunately, this E92 still isn't quite roadworthy. We've still got some more work to do to it. And once that's done, we can actually go for a first drive. But to see that, you're gonna have to wait until the next video. So until then, I hope you've enjoyed this one. And don't forget to like this video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed already. And I'll catch you next time.